So I'm here with Phil Chau by phone. He is our senior risk analyst.
Hey, Andrew.
And Phil's going to be talking with us today about the payment step of the race wizard. Now, when you're setting up a race for the first time, you're going to get to this step and have at least two options: create a new payment account or other options. If you have access to a payment account already, then you'll have this third option. But for today, we're going to be focusing on creating a new payment account. So let's go in here and create new payment account.
Before you start, you should have some of the basic information ready to make it easier for you. Like, make sure you have your basic legal entity information, the legal entity name, the nonprofit's name, the EIN, and the address, the physical address of that nonprofit. Make sure you have your payment information ready, like the bank account number, bank account routing number. Make sure you have your bank statement also in case bank verification fails. Also, make sure you have information for the control owners. That is anyone with fiscal responsibility to the nonprofit or anyone who can make decisions on behalf of the legal entity. Also, you can click on the link Payment Account Agreement. Adyen is our payment processor that handles payment processing for your payment account. The account nickname is just a name for your payment account. It's not anything legal.
So this is anything you just want to recognize your payment account with?
Yes.
Phil and Andrew's payment account.
Okay, next step is information about your legal entity. This is where you set up your legal entity for your payment account.
So this is who's going to be getting paid.
Yes. Click on the drop down and you should see several options for your legal entity type. You have individuals, you have businesses, 501(c)s, nonprofits, or public schools and other government entities.
So there's going to be different forms depending on which one you open up here?
Yes. Now for this example, let's choose a nonprofit. Okay, now tell us about your nonprofit. We need to know the legal name. Please make sure your legal name is entered exactly as registered with the IRS. Enter the nonprofit EIN, how many years in business, if it has a DBA or not, nonprofit phone number. Check yes or no whether or not your organization qualifies for special charity rates. Next, enter your nonprofit address, and please make sure that it's a physical street address and not a PO box. For compliance reasons, we are not able to accept a PO box. It has to be a physical address.
And we have a video on where to find your address information so that you're not using a PO box.
Now, if the physical address is different than the principal place of business or your principal place of nonprofit, then you can check the box and enter that address there. Next is tell us about the control person for the nonprofit. The control person is anyone with fiscal authority within your nonprofit or anyone who makes decisions on behalf of your legal entity. Now, if you, the preparer, do not have fiscal authority for this nonprofit, check that and enter the information for the control person that has that information. But if you're the preparer that you are the control person, you check that box and you go on to the next step.
Now, Phil, I did see that when you had this one checked and you have to enter in the control person information, there's another checkbox here.
Yep, this checkbox allows you to send an email to that control person that can fill it out. And if you don't have the control person's legal name, social security number, etc., if you don't have it, you can check that box. And at the end of the page, you will receive a link to send to the control person.
But if you do have it, then you would just fill that all out here.
Correct.
So should we go through as the control person?
Sure. Next step is the basic payment info. You have two options here, direct deposit or check payments. We recommend direct deposit because check payments have a $10 check fee, and also a check will be issued weekly whenever it balances at least $1,000 or the oldest unpaid transaction is 30 days old. So to avoid delay, we always recommend customers to set up via direct deposit. Next step is to enter your bank account type. We have the options checking, savings, corporate checkings, and corporate savings. The next step is name on bank account. You want to make sure that the name on the bank account matches the legal entity name that you've entered above, and also matches the name on your bank statement.
So that's the name that you have up here, the nonprofit legal name. It needs to match that.
That's correct. The name on the bank account must match your legal name and also match the name on the bank statement. Next step is to enter your bank routing number and your bank account number. And bank account number, just like the legal name, you have to make sure that the account number matches the number shown on the bank statement.
Yeah, so for this step, make sure you have your bank statement out and just copy everything exactly. If your name on the bank account is something incorporated, make sure that you write incorporated. Don't write Inc. because then you'll get an error.
The next step is the bank account owner address. The owner of the bank account usually have the same address as a nonprofit, so by default it's checked. But if you have a different address, you can enter it here by unchecking the box. Mailing address for check payment. In case if we're not able to pay out via direct deposit, we need the mailing address for check payments. Pay to order of should be your legal name. And by default, we use the same address as your nonprofit, but if you have a preferred mailing address, uncheck the box and enter a new mailing address. Annual credit card sales volume through RunSignup. That's an estimate of how much volume you'll be processing per year on RunSignup. We have a couple options there for you. Have you ever accepted credit cards before? It's a simple yes or no. Next step is information about you, the preparer. First name, last name, email, home phone number, address are all required.
And Phil, the social security number, that's required for everyone, right?
That's correct. A payment account is analogous to a bank account. And when you set up an account with a bank, you are required to submit your social security number. In this case, when you set up a payment account, you're setting up a payment account with Adyen. And so we do require the social security number for that person. The driver license is optional. The title, we will need the title for that person. Here's our list of options available. The last step is to look over the payment account agreement by clicking that link. After looking at the agreement, you can sign your signature at the bottom of the page and submit your payment account for review.
And the way you submit is by hitting this Create New Payment Account button. If you didn't finish at any point during this and you want to come back to it, you can save your progress. But once you're done, just click Create New Payment Account, and that will go into Adyen's review process.
Correct. Now, if you do not have the information for the control person, you want to click on Save Progress after clicking You do not have information, and it will generate you a link that you can send to the person. They can use that link, fill out the form, and that information will be loaded into your payment setup step.
So thanks, Phil. That's how to set up a new payment account. And if you don't want to create a new payment account right now, you can hit other options and send instructions to someone else to set it up. You can choose to set it up later, go into test mode, or volunteer and free event mode. But yeah, that's how to set up payments on RunSignup.